we're breaking down anything and everything Utica City FC related. This is the Keeper's Corner podcast with your hosts, Matt Sterling and Brandon Brooks. Let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Keeper's Corner podcast. Matt and Brandon here. Both of us doing our best these days. Brandon, you're still recovering from surgery. I am recovering from my first heckling job in quite a few months.
It's the first heckling job of 2026.
Yeah, it was something.
You picked a good one.
How are you feeling, sir?
Oh, I'm sore. I'm still, dealing with the lack of sleep. Got to watch, the positive side of not being able to sleep much is I at least got to watch all the games yesterday. So, I stayed up and watched the Tacoma St. Louis game. That was a nail biter right towards the end. So, yeah, it's nice when you can't get sleep and you just get to stay up and watch things you normally wouldn't.
At least there's entertainment.
Yes. And then there's other things.
We got a bit to run through this week. We're going to talk about that 4-3 loss to San Diego yesterday. Go through our usual recap for that. Give you a stat that tells the story, the play that changed the game, what needs to improve leaving that one, any positive takeaway we can find, and then we're going to talk a little bit about, is it time to hit the panic button in Utica? Because we're a month and a half into the season. Utica sits at the bottom of the MASL table.
And I have a soundboard, and I probably have that as one of my buttons, and I just did it anyway.
You gotta stick with the classics. So, yeah, I'm apologizing for my voice. I hope I'm coming through loud and clear.
You're coming through at least audio levels as far as I can see, so...
Yeah, that's all that matters then.
Hopefully, everybody's hearing you just as well as I am, because otherwise I'm suffering alone. Kidding!
All right, Brandon. It was a 4-3 game. Very quiet through most of it. There were a couple stretches where one team scored and then another team scored, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And
they took turns.
Let's talk about your stat that tells the story.
So, you know what's funny? I actually get both of mine out of the way right now. Stat that tells the story, play that changed the game. It's Boris Pardo. Boris Pardo came on the field, not for the penalty kill or for the shot there. For the
shootout.
Gordy Thank Garrison. You. With game-winning Gordy. But when he came on the field to actually play, that was the play that changed the game. Because after that, San Diego just shut us down, and their guys started getting more confident in the front. And were able to, they knew they had him to fall back on, and so they're just like, let's do this. Same, right in the chat. Now playing number 37, Boris Pardo. Bam. And the stat that tells the story that matches that is the fact that he had a 100% save percentage because the penalty the shootout doesn't count. So complete. If he had played the whole game, it is very possible, based on that we wouldn't have scored once. Which is terrifying to think about, because have we been shut out? I don't think we have. I always think we've managed to get at least one.
I think we've escaped every time with at least one or two, but
yeah, it's just that literally was both. That was the stat that told the story. Was, I messaged you literally a couple hours after the game, not even. I'm like, right there's my stat. I'm like, right there's my stat. 100%. The guy kept us out of the goal. 11 saves, 1 goal against, but again, it doesn't count towards the stat. And again, the play, him coming on the field. End of story.
All right. I mean, yeah, Boris Pardo's one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
He got his first career shutout earlier in the week, or the week before, and then, you had his 2000th save, I think, came in that game as well.
Oh, okay.
Became the second MASL goalkeeper all time to do that, behind Chris Toth.
And Danny Waltman's
Danny
chasing
Waltman
that.
up, and Danny
Wasn't he?
Waltman's real close. Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
be number 3. He would have been either number 1 or number 2, but he missed all that time with the injury.
How much you want to bet? Just speculation on my end, but how much you want to bet that they were saving part of the reason that they didn't play Pardo initially was because they were trying to get him his 2000 save at home.
No, I'm pretty sure Pardo got 2,000 a couple games back.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
think it
thought
came
you
in the
said that
same
he
one as
got
the
it.
shutout.
I thought you said he got it this game.
No.
Okay. All right.
No, they were trying to rest him after playing the night before. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. I mean, he looked very stiff when he went out there. Like, I was like, man, and when he was going out for the shootout, cold, I mean, the reason he took so long to get out there, I assume, because I wasn't there, was I'm assuming he had to put his freaking gloves on. He probably didn't expect to play.
Yeah, and those gloves are not easy to get on or off.
No. Yeah, I've seen you struggle.
Yeah, and they are large gloves.
Yep.
But
Anyway.
I thought
I'm
you were going to
taking
make a joke about, well, he is 42 years old. Or will be 42 before the end of the season. It takes a little bit to get out there at that age.
Get the old ticker pumping.
Yeah.
Anyway, I took away from your stat that tells the story.
Yeah, my stat that tells the story. Utica got shut out for 3 quarters. You can't put up zeros for 75% of the game.
And to be clear, that wasn't 3 quarters of Boris Pardo. That was 2 quarters of Boris Pardo and 1 quarter of, oh crap, I just put myself in a corner, Lindquist.
Yes.
I saved it.
Who was playing fine.
Yeah.
Just San Diego hadn't scored yet.
Yeah.
Like that,
And-
that's all it was. No, you 4 shots in the first, 5 in the third, 8 in the fourth, 0 goals on any of them.
Yep.
We're just not good enough.
No, I mean,
Hands down.
I actually have a positive takeaway. I'll bring it up later, but it plays into this. It feels like when we do one thing, we can't do another.
This is like 1 for 9 shooting on the day average.
Yeah. It was fun to watch for the first half. It was like, okay, well, see, I'll tell you a little bit of a quick story is, Michelle and I went out to the kitchen with about 2.5-3 minutes left in the second quarter to go finish making dinner and things like that. And when we come back, it's halftime and it's 3-2. I'm like, when did that happen? Guess we can't freaking walk away to go do anything in the kitchen.
Yeah, and it's not like we pulled a Baltimore and own gold twice to put them right back in the game.
Yeah.
Utica, the younger, faster team, got beat in transition twice.
Yep.
Bad.
Yep.
And then the first goal to start the third quarter was getting beat in transition. Again.
Beat us at our own game.
Yeah. Now, play that changed the game is that second goal right before the half. It's one thing to okay, well, they got 1 before the half. It's fine. But you put them right back in the game. It's just like what happened to Baltimore, 2 games ago on New Year's Eve.
Yep.
But instead of, they took a 1-goal lead at the half, they got back within 1.
Yep.
And both times you're going into the locker room with a bad taste in your mouth, and the other team smells blood in the water.
Oh, they definitely did. They were ready to go as soon as they were able to come back out. Now, granted, I didn't get to see it because I don't, if you got to go back and take a look, but we missed probably up until the media timeout of the third quarter. I didn't get to see it. Nobody got to see it outside of the people in the odd.
Yeah, and there weren't that many people there. I'll be frank. It was a underwhelming crowd. I understand that the Bills were playing.
Yeah.
And it's the playoffs, and Central New York loves the Bills. But I don't care. Pat Mahomes isn't in the playoffs this year. Josh Allen is the best quarterback remaining in the AFC on paper. It's the Bills. They're gonna find a way to widen right and lose 4 in the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just the team's cursed. And the minute the Bills mounted the comeback in the fourth quarter is when the wheels fell off in Utica. So someone down there in the swamps of Jacksonville was doing some hoodoo, voodoo, swamp witch magic, sucked all the luck out of New York State. Was like, well, the tush push never works for any other team except the Eagles. We're going to have the best tush push the NFL's ever seen.
Tush push. Sorry, I just like that. I like that word for some reason.
Yeah, everything went wrong for Utica the same moment everything went right for the Bills.
Yep, they took it. They took all our luck. They took our game.
They took our win.
They took something. They took our pride. They took our happiness.
Yeah, the play of change game for me, like I said, it's that one right before the half. You can't.
Yeah, so yours was just kind of yours was. I guess it wasn't.
You only scored 2 in live play against the backup goalkeeper Lindquist.
Yep.
And the one on Pardo was on a shootout, which advantage is always to the shooter on that.
I mean, it's Gordy. We know how he is with that. There is a reason that we call him game-winning Gordy.
And technically, Lindquist is their 4th string goalkeeper. Like, just not good enough in the first half.
No.
Especially not good enough in the second. But it would go Toth and then Pardo. Xavier, who they loaned out because they had Toth and Pardo. Toth broke a finger in his hand.
Yep.
Which is why Pardo, and they've had to bring in Lindquist.
Yep. Yeah, it's just not. I mean, it's just not good enough. We're just not seeing the performance that we would expect from this team. Now, I have made the argument that this is a very young, new-ish team because a lot of our vets are not playing at the moment. I know that Belliard's been around for a little bit. Orozco, Gangrich has been around for a little bit, but they're still all really new guys. He wasn't even playing yesterday, now that I think about it.
Yeah, he has a hamstring injury. Will be out for a little bit.
So, a lot of this team is rookies. And when I say rookies, I mean, first couple years.
Rookie, second year, third year, yeah.
I still call them. I that's one thing I kind of took from Everton is if they're under 2 years, they're rookies. Or they're 2 years and under, they're still a rookie. And I kind of agree with that. So to me, they're all still rookies, and they're all still working the kinks out of what they can and can't do. And so it's like, it's a fast team, but it's a young and experienced team. I don't think Gordy can ever be 100%. Responding to the chat, and Gordy wasn't saying, and Gordy wasn't 100%. It's like, I don't know if he ever can be. Not knocking him at all. It's just, I just, he's taken a lot of smacks. So I don't know if he can ever really be 100% anymore. Sorry, went on a rant there.
Yeah, it's fine. So let's talk about what needs to change coming out of this game. And for me, I need to see more from the guys that have been there, that are in their 3rd or 4th season. These are guys that should be They've played enough games. They should be coming into their own, and they aren't.
Yeah.
My brother and I were talking about it at the game yesterday. Name that came up a bunch was Emmanuel Belliard. He is incredibly talented technically. His eyes are looking at the ball at his feet or the turf right around him far more often than they are looking upfield with the ball at his foot, looking to find other people. His first season, he averaged 0.4 points per game. His last year, 0.5. This year, he has 1 assist through 6 games.
Yeah, he's not doing anything.
That's we saw Ricky get a little bit of more run towards the end of the game yesterday. He's getting scrappy. But what he did at M2 was last year, I believe he led the league in assists or was close to it at the M2 level. He needs to be running the offense then. If you're going to put him out there, he needs to be taking that Gio Alves position when he's on the turf.
Yep.
Not scrapping up against the boards, trying to dig the ball out of the corner against a defender that's got 8 inches and 50 pounds on him.
It's not exactly a fair matchup.
No. Howard Miller Jr. looked decent at stretches over the past couple games.
Yep.
He's also been out of the league a few years, so I'm going to give him a chance to shake the rust off. But he's a replacement level player.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting a ton out of him. Cole Stevens transitioning to defense this year instead of being a forward. So but he still looks like he's playing like a forward out there. At least in the stretches that I've noticed.
Everybody seems to play like a forward out there. I mean, we see Juan, scoring goals now. Not to say that defenders can't score goals, but it's not something you normally see very often.
Yeah, Hubert specifically on that many one. Yeah, he dribbled too long, took too many touches.
Oh, yeah.
The
one too many, at least one too many. I mean,
the team played scared yesterday.
Yes.
Which you shouldn't be playing at home against a team that I don't care if it's AC Milan or Barcelona walking in there to play against you. You're at home, and they had a terrible travel schedule.
Yeah.
They got in at 5 in the morning. Like, Pinal's been fantastic. Willie Spur has been a great addition to the team. Shalir has shown improvement in year 2. Santos has looked really good. He's made some key saves right on the line.
Yep.
He had a big one yesterday.
I mean, he had the big save in overtime. No, not in overtime. To get us to overtime last week in Baltimore.
But like that second and third tier, the depth players, where you need next man up attitude, someone to step up, they're not. Their game has not elevated enough.
No.
And that could just be ceiling for some of these guys. And, some of it, at this point, you wonder, is it coaching? Is it this futsal style of arena football? I don't have an answer to that.
I mean, of course, you want to look at, or when you look at this stuff, you'll try and look for the common denominator. The common denominator in this case is Everton. He's been coaching for a few years now. And yes, you of course are going to start questioning, like, hey, is it the coaching? Is Everton the problem? and I mean we have been seeing similar problems with a lot of the newer people that have come in, both old and new. I'm not ready to lay it all on Everton because it's not all on him regardless. But something, we got to see something change here soon. Because otherwise, I mean, things just, they're already not looking good in this season. And I mean, you've already got some people questioning whether or not they're even going to renew their season tickets next year. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's getting that bad. And
that's come from within people that have had season tickets since 2018. Since
the beginning. I mean, I responding to the chat, to Huber, I think, the lack of bringing in talent, our off season was non-existent.
Yeah,
it was literally, okay, here's, I think, like one signing, Willie Spur,
and then we added Xavier at the transfer because Andrew retired.
But everything else was just re-signings, which had no fanfare to them, and and Wilkin. But again, that had no fanfare either. Yeah. It was still technically a re-signing. And I don't even need to think about any topics. The chat's doing it for me. Appreciate it. I've been harping on captain for weeks now. We don't have, and again, this is no offense to Logan, this is no offense to Juan, I don't feel we have a captain figure on this team. A captain figure that can really, rally the troops, really, push the team forward and, get them over these humps, get them through these, these bad times, coach them through them, get them, cheer them on in the good times. Like I don't see that captain figure on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is with that. Like, do we, at this point, like, what are we looking for?
I think
besides,
sorry,
what I think it was stuff. It's the captains that have been chosen this year kind of have had it thrust upon them at the last minute.
Yes, they did, and that's part of the problem.
And I don't know.
I one of the things that really showed for me last night was lack of confidence in themselves. Nearly every single time that they were getting down the field, San Diego took it right off them like nothing. Like, they start going and they're either doing what we normally see, what we were seeing for a while, and then they finally, just kind of started committing to the run back. Mm-hmm. But for a while, what do we see? We'd see them go up a little bit, stop, pass it back, reset, start again, instead of the quick counters that we were seeing that was working for a little bit. Not just in this game, just in general. It was really starting to work because this is a transition team. And we're slowing down our transition on purpose. Every single time we were pushing forward, there's no confidence. I mean, I understand that it's San Diego, but they're not immutable. They're not unbeatable. We've seen them get beat. They got beat in their friggin' home opener at home. Well, duh, that's what a home opener is. Against a team that I have, in the whole time that I've watched this league, I've never seen them get beat by Empire at home for their home opener. Like, they're not infallible. But they got treated like they were last night. Even when we scored, it felt like we had to fight tooth and nail to get it. Sorry, I had to rant.
No, it's
I've
fine.
been saving this.
It's fine. Yeah, to address, we slowed it down, which is what San Diego wanted. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And we've said it for 4 years now under this coaching style. Utica's half-field offense is almost non-existent.
No.
It's very play it safe. Maybe we'll look for something. But ultimately, it ends with a shot most of the time that ends up at the foot of a defender, being an easy save or in the netting above the goal.
Yep.
It's been a problem for too long now, and you played right into San Diego's hands.
Absolutely. No question.
All right, you got a bright spot to take out of this one?
Technically, I have two. I'm just going to use them both. Number one, we still retain our penalty kill at 100%. So that is a positive. We haven't given up a goal on a penalty kill, but we've given up a goal on a power play. So, I mean, that's something. But we've also, the second thing is we did show for a good bit that we can play defense.
Mm-hmm.
We can play defense. What we lacked was any offense, because every time we tried to get offense started, it was either pull back and reset because we have been getting pressed so hard on defense, or just push up and get it taken away immediately and giving it right back. I mean, San Diego possessed for like 99% of the fourth quarter. It felt like they just had the ball on their foot all the time.
Yeah, it was almost the exact opposite of the first quarter.
Yeah.
But in both cases, the defenses did their job.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I do actually have a positive takeaway from this one. A couple of them, surprisingly.
I mean, mine's Brian Wilkin.
Yeah.
Despite the defensive deficiencies that this team has shown over the years, and especially early on this season, he put up a 4-goal allowed, 10-save performance, 714 save rate. And yes, San Diego is missing players. Utica's missing players. Baltimore's missing players. I don't want to hear anyone talk about, injuries. Every team is dealing with about the same amount this time of year already.
Yeah, it's no different this year than any other year. Everybody's missing players. Everybody's going to use this as an excuse to say, here's why we lost.
But Wilkin played a fantastic game. He did everything he could. And this is one that he should have had in the win column.
He pushes out of goal. He's not afraid to push out a goal to, not necessarily get a save, but push the ball the other way when it's coming back at him. I mean, there was so many times you saw him running out to like scissor kick a freaking ball halfway across the field, or jumping up to just hitting every ball that came near him. I mean, or either hitting them or saving them. I mean, there's a reason we call him the brick wall, and he has been showing it not just in this game, but the whole season. Mm-hmm. There's only been a couple times that he's either seemed off, or that he just, like, what happened? Those type of things. Ones that, as they always say, he really wanted that one back. There haven't been that many for him. He has done a good job for us this year. He has been what we needed with the absence of Andrew. I mean, personally, I've said it for years when he was still here actively playing for us. We needed to see more of him then. And, it would have kept Andrew fresher. We needed to use him more.
Yeah, especially on back-to-backs. And
yes. I understand
against the Harrisburgs that used to exist.
Yes. So, like, he's been the unsung, kind of the unsung hero of this team, and he doesn't get enough appreciation for it. So,
Yeah. All right. Quick little touch on yesterday's officiating, since I went on Facebook and made that comment from the page.
I'm gonna go make some coffee now. I'll be back.
Look, I've done my rants over the years. I'm not getting into too much depth. I stand by what I said, which is, even though other leagues have had gambling scandals, I trust the officials in those leagues more than I trust the ones in the MASL. And that goes from the bottom to the top. We watched Sigic make up a phantom handball call against Nick Pereira in a game a couple weeks ago, and then stand by it on under review.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, that looks like it hit his left hand to me. It's like, well, is it clear and definitive? Because it's like 50-50 at best.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going against what you stated, and then like we have less teams, so there's less officials, and they're going by, my guess would be seniority. I don't know, Rich Grady, retire. Just retire. Just get. You've done your time. Please enjoy. I'm assuming you're a grandfather at this point, maybe even a great grandfather. And enjoy whatever you have left with your family. But like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yep.
The play is 6 feet in front of you. You're calling a foul on a ball that was all ball. All ball.
All ball.
All ball. Like 125% ball. There was so much ball that the player might as well not have even been there.
I thought you were gonna say something weird.
Yeah, yeah. And then you got Miller, who I've called Mr. Inconsistent for years, who probably deservedly doesn't make a call against on Gordy getting fouled. Gordy has a reputation as a flopper.
I wasn't
But
surprised
then,
that one didn't get
like
called. I
3
know
minutes
exactly
later,
what you're talking about.
Serta gets just as much contact and
Mhm.
goes to the turf, and he calls it immediately.
Yeah.
If you're just going to make calls based on reputation and not on what you're actually seeing, go home. Don't waste your time. Don't waste our time as fans. Don't waste the players' time as competitors. Just like the league wanted to up standards. The broadcast was a complete farce yesterday. We have it on good authority that basically the entire broadcast system needs to be replaced at the odd, but we would rather invest our money in flashy boards to sell more advertisements than invest in like the broadcast quality or in, trying to up the pay for officials so we can entice better officials or anything that actually would improve the league.
Mhm.
So, yeah, there's that. Or, invest in the team instead of just trying to scout and hope we find the next big thing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's definitely some good referees. I've seen
There are
some good, consistent referees. I don't care if they're necessarily, I don't want to say bad, but
consistent.
if they're consistent, I just want consistency. And most of the time we don't see that. So
No, for our fellow tabletop gamers, it's like they're rolling a d20 with a -5 disadvantage for perception checks every time.
yeah.
Like that's just, I don't know. Like, can we get them some vision insurance or something? Annual checkups, anything? Just something, please. Just consistent. I want consistent, and I can't get that.
No, that's a far-fetched dream. I'm sorry.
I am opposed to AI, but like if you told me we had an AI umpire coming, I might change my tune about that.
I'll keep my mouth shut on that one.
Because the human element is just
The human
frustrating.
element is flawed. It is
All
flawed.
right, the next big topic. Do we need to hit the panic button on the season? It's 6 games in, a quarter of the season's gone. You have 2 wins. They have come in overtime. 4 of your losses, 4 losses. One was an overtime loss that you blew a lead at home in the final minute and a half to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You sit at the bottom of the standings, and you are one of 2 teams averaging less than 1 point a game.
So I would say, here's how I'm going to put it. You know how in the movies they always have to flip up the cover before they hit the button?
Mm-hmm.
The cover's flipped up. It's hovering. You're hovering there. Like, regardless, something needs to change. No question. We need to do something. I don't think it's panic, but it is darn close. Like, it is this weekend. It is, hey, put up or shut up, basically. I was going to use Tallahassee's wording, but changed my mind. So I think, this weekend is the deciding factor, ultimately. But I'm not pushing it down. I flip the cover up and I'm holding it there. I'm ready to hit it. So that's where I'm at.
That seems like a fair assessment. I think the one thing that might sway it, if I'm Rob Esch, is that for the first 6 years that this team played in the league, they averaged 3,000 fans a game or more. They're down to 2,550.
Yeah.
Which even if they average the usual like 3,200, they'd still be 5th in the league this year, which says a lot to what San Diego, Empire, Kansas City, and Milwaukee have done early in the year. But to be this low, 18% down from last year.
Oh, we're also down at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't help things. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, the last game that I went to was our home opener. And that's not, now granted, let me context. I didn't go the last couple before and around Christmas because I had my surgery coming up, so I was trying to stay away from people and not get sick. And then I haven't gone since then because this, and I've got some other stuff here, that we're working through. And so it's like, I've had reasons to not go, genuine reasons, but at the same time, I don't have any motivation. There's very little motivation to want to go. And that's a big problem too. So I something needs to change. We need to do something to reinstill confidence in the fan base. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a signing. I don't know if that's just a couple of really good wins, like sweeping this weekend. That would reinstill some confidence in people. That ain't gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I would, God, please prove me wrong. Please do it.
Okay, well, to address some of the comments, Kelvin, he's still tied up with the Kings League World Cup nations. His Brazil team and USA's team, which has MASL players, 3 of which play for San Diego, former Utica player Steph is also on the team. has also made the quarterfinals. They'll be playing tomorrow. I don't know. Kings League returns in March again. Would you take Kelvin for a month and a half? I'd just rather go without him if that's all we're going to get.
I said this at the end of last season. We need a player, and I saw Michelle in the chat saying this earlier. Basically, can we get somebody to replace him that's going to be here? Completely replace him and get an all-year player. I mean, that's my big griping point with him is he's never here. We have him. We have the signing. Great. What are we doing with him? What can we do? And the answer is nothing, because he's too busy. Basically, he's too busy elsewhere. We tried to pull him away from his other, I don't say responsibilities, but his other leagues that he's very established in, that he's very popular in, that he's gained a lot of fame and fortune in, and we're trying to get him to play in the MASL. And we don't have much play there. It's just the truth. So I said it then and I'll say it now. I'd rather have somebody that's going to be here all the time. I don't care if somebody else swoops in and signs him. San Diego signs him. You know what's going to happen? Most likely the same thing. Because yes, they've got money, but they don't have. I bet you they don't have Kings League money.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who has him. Anybody can have the rights to having him play on their team. But the problem is he's still most likely not going to be there. So I'd much rather use him as trade fodder and get somebody who is going to, or people, multiple potentially, because he's got that kind of star power. I mean, the guy led the league in scoring and he only played half the games last season.
Yeah. So
use him, get somebody who is going to be here, or multiple people who are going to be here. Get the friggin' Tayus. I know that there's some, obviously Tayu's not, he's a polarizing player, but get them both. Like, we were trying to get them both before. Get them both in the same place. He did well for us once he got established. I know that neither one of them is an M1, but you get my point. Free up the funds and get somebody who matters. Get somebody who's going to produce for us. Because, we have him, but he's not producing because he's not here.
Yeah, your best ability is availability.
Yeah. So.
Said it before, say it again. Let's address a couple of comments in the chat.
Yeah, sorry, I keep talking over him.
Attendance is 90% reflection of player interaction and 10% the record. So I haven't been, like I said, this is my first game this year because of my job. And with the lake effect that moved in, I hightailed it out of there afterwards. Didn't stick around. Would have loved to, but I've driven on enough crappy roads this winter that I was going to get home while the getting was good.
I don't blame you there one bit.
So I don't know how the fan and player interaction has been. But yeah, just even over the past couple years, as that first batch of players retired or moved elsewhere, it felt like a lot of the new guys coming in weren't as approachable.
Yep. Agreed 100%. I mean, some of them are. Don't get me wrong. There are, there's definitely diamonds in the rough, but there's some rough, and it's hard to differentiate which is which sometimes. I mean, people can obviously have bad days, bad moods, stuff like that. But yeah, it's really hard to, it's hard enough for people to want to, or to feel confident enough to approach someone they see as a big sports star. Because, these people, these guys are big sports stars to us because, they're the closest thing, I should say. They are the closest we can get to like real sports talent and stuff.
Yeah.
For the most part. And so, I mean, there's going to be that intimidation factor. But don't make it worse by feeling like you're unapproachable. And yeah, it does feel like a lot of them have been that way.
I've heard from a couple people 72 has dropped in quality. I don't want to talk bad about anywhere that I used to work. That this is just what I've heard through the chain. I don't know. Didn't eat there myself yesterday, but if you're losing quality there, and the fans don't want to go there afterwards, which is where the players are most approachable.
Mm-hmm. Although they've been doing
players,
that, like, aren't they doing the signing beforehand, right?
Yeah.
Which is weird.
It's also, if there were players in the past that, especially at the end of the season or after a tough loss or a big win, would go around table to table and talk with everybody in there.
Yeah. I can think of one that would do that almost every game. That was Andrew Coughlin.
I thought you were going to say Timmy.
No.
It's like, well, yeah, Timmy was a local celebrity.
No, that was Andrew Coughlin. Like, he would, I mean, at least I know he came to our table every single time, but I'd see him go around the rest of the room. Like, he made the rounds. Like, he made an effort to really connect with the fans. And that goes a long way, because the more you connect with us and we connect with you, the more we're going to scream our heads off for you in the odd and push you to your absolute limit in these games, or help you push yourself to the limit in these games. We'll give you that motivation, but we have to have that connection.
Well, Wild Bearded Man, unfortunately, part of that environment from those early days was the Wild Bearded Man and the rest of us up in 212, and we have not been as consistent as those early days.
Yeah, that's
like, I didn't even get a "you bum" chant yesterday, but
wow. Did you even have one though?
No, I had some other good one-liners. I had some other good one-liners, but I can't remember them at all off the top of my head.
Telling you, we need to band together and get the Wild Bearded Man his own drum, customize it, make it look real. As Cousin Eddie says, make it look real nice.
Other comment. It doesn't help when there's so much given to Comets season ticket members, but nothing for Utica City season ticket members. Mm-hmm. And it's discouraging because it feels like they couldn't care less. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the first year, season ticket members got scarves. If you joined the keeper section, you got a separate scarf just for the keepers, which they then sold a couple years later when they gave up on us because, boo, they suck.
I was not happy about that.
And then a few years ago, you got like a season ticket member pin. But
I never got that.
I still have mine from 22-23, but that's really it.
I never got one. What is this crap?
I think you had to go up to like the
fan zone thingy or whatever.
Fan zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go figure.
And maybe we talked about it. The promotions have been lackluster, and even yesterday's Riggie game felt mediocre.
I put a hot take on a reply to the Utica City FC post. In my opinion, I think that we should just be the Utica Riggies. full time. Not the Utica City FC, Utica Riggies. For two reasons. Number one, it gives us identity. How long were we mocked, and probably may still be mocked, because we're the Utica City FC? You know, the Utica City... I don't even remember half of the things that they would use for FC to tease, but it was a different thing every single week.
Mm-hmm. Sydney Newsonoff.
Yeah, there you go. I wasn't gonna call him out, but
yeah, I remember those. Yeah, the Fidel Castros. The
yes,
the fried crab. Yeah,
like if we just were the Utica Riggies, we've got like I said, it gives us an identity. It makes us stick out. I think the only problem there is that we've got the same colors just about as Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
But
look, my only defense of the name is, what are the other great names in this league? The Comets that exist in how many other leagues?
Mm-hmm.
Like the AHL, the Wave, you know, like the Tulane Green Wave. Not original, and most people don't think of the Lake when they think of Milwaukee.
But yet again, every single other one has a name. Whereas we are just... I'm looking at the MASL page right now. Strikers, Ambush, Stars, Comets, Soccers, Wave, UCFC, Blast. That's the schedule right now for the next 4 games. Every single one has an identity, and we're just an acronym because we don't have a name.
That's on the league. That's 100% on the league, but also Utica is Utica first.
Fair.
If you actually say the name out and you don't shorten it.
Fair.
When I see comments in chat around Utica or in the comments on like the soccer posts,
mm-hmm.
I have to double check and make sure. Are they talking about the Kansas City Comets or
Right.
are they talking about the Utica Comets?
Right.
When somebody says the Stars, I assume they're talking about Tacoma, but they could be talking about the Dallas Stars, you know, the NHL team that gets tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands more in views a year.
You understand you're proving my point right now. How many FCs are there out there? How many Riggies teams are
but
there?
no team, nobody calls them
unique.
the FCs. Nobody calls them the FCs.
No, but
okay.
we'd be unique. That's all I'm saying. Like, we would have uniqueness. And now
do you know one of the largest soccer clubs in the world
mm-hmm.
is Manchester United. Do you know their full name?
Isn't it Manchester United FC?
No, it's the Manchester United Red Devils.
Huh.
You know who calls them the Red Devils?
Nobody.
It's United. If you're talking soccer and somebody says, yeah, I'm a United fan, they immediately know Manchester United.
Yeah.
If you say, I'm a City fan, it's Manchester City.
Yeah.
Guess who's a City fan and who took that name for his soccer club and the colors?
I guess that's fair. I like Riggies. Although, like I said, I'm not.
We are 1-3 in Riggies games, just for the record.
We're 1 in what for this season? We are
2-3-1.
2-3-1. So basically,
although if you went
2
by
and 4.
overtime, it would be 2-3-1.
I don't know. It was just, again, it was a hot take, and I figured bring it up because obviously it made a good discussion point.
It does, but like,
and I do agree with the wild bearded man that, you know, I'm not saying I don't like it. I just think I would have personally liked the Riggies thing to be. I think I would like it as well. I'm not saying I don't like our name at all. I'm not trying to say like, but if I had to have the choice right now, I would take the Riggies all the time.
Look, I've said it before on this podcast. I'll say it again. I consider Riggies and all tomato cream sauces to be a mediocre dish and therefore a mediocre name. So I don't want that.
And that's fair. That's
Whereas
we all
salt
have our
potatoes are an
opinions.
S tier side dish. Just give me a spicy red sauce. Don't put the cream in it. It never comes together to create something more than its two parts.
Listen, I know they're not in this league, but if we can have the Salisbury steaks, we can have the Utica Riggies.
That's also a great pun, though, and I will appreciate a pun any time of the week,
I know.
any day of the week, any day of the month, 366 days a year.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's definitely it's got that going for it too.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got way off track.
We did. We did. Just kind of going off the comments, and
I kind of the comments took us one way, and then I took us further, and
you weren't quite hitting the panic button, and I was saying that attendance could be a reason why, if I'm Rabesh, I'm hitting that panic button.
Oh, I think something needs to happen, but
yes.
It's not necessarily like full teardown or trading away half the team to get somebody else that's gonna help us along. But we're hovering. We need to do something, but not something not putting in the launch codes and full fire, but maybe a warning shot.
I have a feeling we are within a 6-game stretch of having rumors come out that this is going to be a lot like the 2021-22 season, which is if you don't make the playoffs, you're out of here.
I mean, we've made it to the playoffs the past couple years and lost in the first round. And, I was thinking something was going to need to change for that.
If we just did the same thing again.
If we just outright don't make it, something's going to change.
I don't know. That's again, I'm not hitting the panic button myself, but I also made the bold prediction that Everton would be gone because of mediocre to subpar performances, low attendance, and financials before the season. So
yeah,
I had a chemistry teacher in high school that said aim low, avoid disappointment, and I came into the season doing just that.
Yeah, I came in with low expectations, and I've still been upset. I didn't aim low enough.
Yeah, the high best outcome, lowest outcome, and middle of the road may have been a little optimistic spin that I was putting on things to try to not sound defeatist before the season even started. All right. Pardon me. We will pivot now. We'll talk about the upcoming games this weekend. We got 2. It is a home and home series against Baltimore. Sunday at noon down at CQ. Monday, 3 o'clock at the Odd. It is Martin Luther King Day. It is the Ava Woods Memorial Penalty Kick Tournament shootout thing. Maybe Nate will show up for that.
Very
that
possible.
Would be nice to have him back in the crowd.
That would be a crowd pleaser. Absolutely.
And I guess we'll touch on our predictions from last week because, Brandon, you can claim your first win of the year.
Huh?
You had a 6-4 Utica win. Or I believe that's what I wrote down. Let me double check this.
I thought I lost again. Oh, I got one number. I got 4.
Prediction score sheet. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you had 6-4. I had 7-6. They lost 4-3. So neither one of us gets the point for the win. You get the point for predicting their score correct. You were also closer to Utica, so you get a point for that. And I had the spread at 1 point. So you got 2 for the lower score prediction, and I got 1 for the spread.
That's me just acknowledging the chat. I saw that. Gonna stick with, gonna take those good old Huber predictions when I can get them.
Yeah.
In fairness, it was the score I was thinking of too. It was just funny that I saw it right before I was about to say it, and it was like, yeah, that's literally where I was going with that. So, but reinforced my confidence in it.
All right. Brandon, I'll go first on the away game. Look, Baltimore's lost 2 at home in a row, which is very unusual for them.
Yeah, especially considering we're one of them they lost to.
And it took us a game-tying goal with 20 seconds left and an overtime goal to win. And part of the reason was because they got a little over aggressive at the end, and a couple big saves were the reason that Utica was able to keep the ball and get that quick transition goal to tie it. But it was also the first time and the only time in 6 games this year that we've said Utica played a full game.
Yes.
And 1-6 doesn't give me enough confidence to expect that again. I have Utica losing this one 8-6.
So, the biggest question that I have to think about here is, does Lightning strike twice? Do we get the win in Baltimore again? We had the thing there is that Baltimore, I know that we've talked about players and people being injured and stuff like that. Baltimore legitimately was missing a few people. Pat Thompson, I believe they were missing Chad Porch, I think Jamie Thomas. They were missing a few people in that game that we went down there for and ended up winning. So, and we still...
They have signed Diesel to help shore up on defense.
Yep. They signed Diesel as well. I know Pat was playing this past weekend. But most, from what I could see based on this past weekend when they played the Sockers, is that their roster issues had been resolved. And, they had who you'd expect them to have. So, with, I think, the exception of Chad Porch, but now Chad Porch, because the injury report is somewhat out, Chad Porch and Jamie Thomas are both probable for this weekend. So it's very likely that they will both be back as well. Not that Jamie Thomas was back for this past one. It's very possible that if, Chad Porch, he didn't play this past weekend, it's very likely he'll be able to play for this next weekend. If he was probable for this, if the injury report's old and it's, from this past weekend, that might be the case too. So they're going to be up to basically full strength, and we're not. And if we go down, we're going to go down with some confidence. And I know we are, because it's a young team and they're going to be like, all right, we won here last time, we can do it again. And my concern is that they're going to run away with that and immediately think that they can just walk in and own the place. So I feel like we're going to go down 2 again. And we're just not going to recover. And so what did you say?
8-6 Baltimore.
8-6. Because this is a high transition team and it's a small field, and that does benefit us. I'm looking at chat, staring at it. I think I'm going to say 7-5. I don't like 8-5. 7-5 Baltimore. Actually, no. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to go for the Hail Mary on this one. I'm going to say that we flip-flop. I'm going to say that this weekend we take Baltimore, they take Utica again.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's just sticking out. Cuz that just sticks out in my head. I was going to go the other way. I'll be honest. I was going to flip-flop it and kind of stick with what Huber's talking about, you know, where we lose down there and we win up here. But I just don't think we have the stamina for that. I really don't. I think we're going to burn out. So, yeah, I'm going to say 7-5 Utica in Baltimore. And I'm going to say, well, you want me to just give my prediction for the Monday game as well?
Sure, go for it.
So in the Utica game in Utica, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say 8-4 Baltimore. It's I told you I don't go for the plays that are like, yeah, this is the safe bet. This is the safe bet. I go for the predictions that I think are just out there, which is why I will never put money on this stuff. But it's because I would love to see something crazy happen. Now, granted, I don't want to see us go down 4, but I just, you know, we barely make it 2 quarters most games, and we have to play 2 games back to back like that. I know they have to too, but come on.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I think if Baltimore wins as we expect on Sunday, having already won here once, and Utica now losing 2 in a row, 3 of the last 4 at that point, I have Utica losing at home on Monday. Our crowd has been one of the biggest X factors for Utica, and it is a Monday game. Granted, it's on Martin Luther King Day, but it's not a holiday that everybody gets off.
Right. Michelle's working, so I mean, she worked close by, so you know.
Are you working?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I got the day off.
Oh, you want to go to the game? You got 2 tickets.
Well,
I ain't working.
I also have a sick dog at home, so that's kind of my X factor at the moment.
You know, we'll see.
If that gets better, which based on
with the chat,
then I mean that's a good sign. So I mean, if things continue in that direction,
and
very
it's a
possible,
week away, so
very possible that I would like to go. I wanted to go to the Riggies game, but I also would like to go to this game because I would, you know, I've got some friends on Baltimore that I would like to see again. You know, I want to see Scott Sterling. I haven't talked to him. I've been talking to him, you know, offline once in a while, and
yeah, I know you and Pat Thompson also usually catch up in 72.
Yep. So I would love to see them again. I'd love to see the guys again. I mean, I haven't even been to 72 after a game this whole year. I haven't seen the guys.
Yeah.
So I would love to get to a game and actually be able to hang out and say hello and catch up. But, you know, the one game that I went to 72 beforehand, and then I was like, I'm not going back. And of course, we also had poor taste in our mouth because we lost.
Yeah.
So
You also have, you know, I'd love to walk out of there with a win. I'm hesitant to give it because both teams will be facing that travel difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't be as terrible because their game's at noon, so that they can be out of Baltimore by 3:00, back in Syracuse by 9.
yeah, they'll actually be able to
9:30 for Utica. You
sleep
know what I mean?
fairly
Like,
well.
it's not going to be that. It's not that difficult as far as travel goes,
Right.
compared to playing at like 6:00 and then getting into Utica at 5:30 in the morning.
Right.
All right. We'll see how this goes. Currently in the predictions, the score is now 12-4. Made up some ground. All
Yeah,
it
but if I
takes is
keep
1
up,
point.
if I keep up these ridiculous, these ridiculous ones, I'll hit once. I'll probably hit once, but then that'll be it.
There's 18 games left. You only need to make up 8 points. That's easy done.
Okay.
Especially if you get lucky and call an overtime when we go to an overtime. Because we both missed on the overtimes this year.
Like I said, I just prefer the crazy. You know, I like making the interesting, predictions versus the predictable ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. It's just my thing.
All right. Well, I believe that is just about everything from us. I don't have much else to add.
No, I got nothing.
Kind of said it all.
Yeah,
At least for this week.
more.
Unless chat's got something else they want us to talk about before we wrap it up, we'll give them a quick 30 seconds or so.
I was gonna say it's about 30.
You know, I remind everybody to hit that subscribe button, like the video, stick around after the stream ends, leave a comment. All that stuff helps boost the algorithm for us, gets us in more eyes, gets more people on us. Share us with your fellow Utica fans, because if this season's going to be a rough one, it's better to have a cathartic outlet to deal with it. Trust me.
Yes. Complain with us.
Tennessee Titans football has been terrible the past 3 years, specifically 2.5. But, you know, I still tune in every Sunday post game just to hear, you know, that let's try to be a little rational about it. Or also like, oh my God, they fired the coach. Woo! Ugh.
Yes, thank you everyone for being here, and I appreciate the well wishes in the chat, by the way.
And I should say, with next week's game being on a Monday, should we move the show to Tuesday? Because if we're down
I think
there
we're gonna have to, yeah.
and then go to 72 afterwards, it's going to be a little tough to.
Yeah, we're not pulling a all-star game thing where we're
Live stream from
we can't even do that this anymore. Well, we probably couldn't even do that anymore because you had the connections there last time.
I'm sure if we talk to somebody, they'd get us in.
No, I got nothing. Let's take us home.
All right. Thank you for joining us. As always, he's Brandon. I'm Matt. We are your fellow voices for Utica City fans. And this has been another edition of the Keeper's Corner podcast. Go Utica.
Can we have some songs, please?
So.
Thank you for listening to the Keeper's Corner podcast on whatever podcast app you use. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. If you'd like to interact with us, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Twitter or X. whatever you prefer to call it. We have a TeePublic shop where you can get UCFC player swag or help support the podcast. Thank you. We appreciate it. And one last thing. Go Utica City.